Hello guys, been a while, welcome back. So I have on the lathe right now a piece of sycamore and I'm wanting to turn it into two different types of pot box. One's going to be like a little pot and the other one's going to be a little box, I hope. Now, before I get started, oh sorry, I've already started rounding it, but I'll do that in a second. Before I get started, some of you are going to notice that I am barefoot. And yes, I am barefoot. The reason for that is I have nerve damage in my right leg. So if I'm wearing shoes, I don't have any feeling. I can't feel my foot at all. I just can't feel it. I can't feel anything. So for me, because of that, it is safer for me to do this barefoot. Because I actually have some feeling, so if I'm standing on something, I can feel it. I am not for 1 second suggesting it's the safest thing to do. It isn't. Be aware of your safety. I do wear this. I do have excuse me, face mask. I do have behind me, I have an extractor. I am not ignoring safety, it's just for me, for this one issue, I'm barefoot. But please, take every safety precaution you can for you. Right, so I'm not going to beat that about the bush, but because I know some people will say, "Oh, you're barefoot," so that is why. That's the explanation. That's why. So the plan is, what I'm going to do is I'm going to shape these, turn it down to round, start shaping the pot and the box while they're all together before I separate them and turn them into their individual pieces. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the Hampshire sheen intrinsic colours to colour them, and I'm going to be going for something like a fire effect, because the box is for a ring. The ring is a dragon ring. It's a gift, and the person who's getting it is a big fan of Game of Thrones. So the idea is that this side is going to be turned into an egg, and this one is going to be turned into just a little pot. But so I'm going to be trying to, as much as I can, match the colours on them because they're going to the same person. Right, so now I'm going to round this down. I'll probably have to recharge the phone, so I'm going to round this down first, put the phone back on charge, come back, do the shaping and the sanding, probably stop there again because of the phone, recharge the phone again, and then do the colour and the final finish. The final finish is going to be either melamine lacquer or a lot of coats of Danish oil. I haven't decided which way I'm going to go yet. But right, so I'm at max speed for this lathe, which is, I think, about 2400 RPM, I think. Just slow down to flight path, turn it on, looks like I've got a bit of a rub here. Not much of one, but just a tiny amount. So I'm going to bring this out a little bit more. I'm quite alone with the handle. all I'm trying to do, I've got my right foot in front of my left foot at right angles. And all I'm doing is I'm trying to move my weight from my left foot to my right foot. But I'm going to keep this into me as much as I can. I got caught up there. And what I've got on my tool rest, I've got a little ridge at the back of the blade of the tool rest, so I'm just running my finger as I'm holding the tool. I'm running my finger along that little ridge to try to keep everything in line. Right. Now I'm doing something else now. I'm doing a feeling cut. So what I'm doing now, I'm holding the chisel at a quite steep angle, bringing it into the wood, and then just keep raising the handle, which gives a planing cut. So I want to dump this weight fast, this mass fast, and I think I'm quicker doing that than I am the length. So of course, once you've got a depth where you want to be, and I just need a little bit more. You know where you need to aim for. See how quick you can lose mass. So you do need a sharp tool. This is freshly sharpened before I started. Again, what I'm doing now is I've got this finger behind the little ridge on my tool rest to try and get a nice even cut. Now I'm doing it the other way, I'm transferring backwards instead of forwards. So on that part I was transferring from my front foot to my back foot, but exactly the same principle applies. Fast way of telling if you've smoothed out or not. Get it going. Rest your tool on top of the work. If it bounces, you're not finished. it slides, you're finished. Holy crap, that's a lot of wood. Right, so now I need my ruler, which you guys have been looking after me over here. And I need my pencil. Oh, what do you think of the legs, by the way? Aren't they attractive? Pencil, don't have a pencil. So, if at first you don't succeed, cheat. That's spiky. That's 9 inches. Oh, it was 9 by 3, sorry. 9 long, 3, and then 3 by 3 square. That's 9, so that's 4.5 is the halfway point. So what I need to do here, what do I need to do? Well, that's the separation point, so I'm going to put a groove in there with my parting tool. I'm going to move this in a little bit as well. That's too far. So that's my halfway point between the two pieces. So where I'm going to separate them. So I've done a width in the centre, now I'm going to do a half width each side. I do 3/4 each side. And then go back into the middle and do another one. Right, so what I've done there is I've created where I'm going to actually separate the pieces out. Oops. Where I'm actually going to separate the pieces out. And obviously if I just try to do that, the tool's going to bind and issues. So I've given myself gaps there so I can do relieving cuts to make it easier. So the actual separation will probably be the full width of this once I've done it. So now I'm going to put in for the tenons I'm going to have, and I am going to use a skew, a little half-inch skew, 13mm, because it's already got an angle on it, so I can just put this straight in, and I'll get because my jaws are, oh god, sorry, I forgot the name. The tenon needs to have an angle on it for the jaws to grip properly. I can't remember the name, it's gone out of my head. There's a proper name for it, and I'm sorry I've forgotten it. Well, that's the next thing, is to put those on there and there. I'm going to do this, I'm going to hold the tool high and bring it down, and then just lift the handle to get my cut. So I'm way above the wood. Now I'm working out how deep I want the tenon to be. And now I'm going to lift the handle, get the tool going, and get the cut. And it's basically a flaming cut. So all I'm doing is holding the tool steady and lifting the handle. It's like exactly the same thing, all I've done is flip the tool over. I'm way high, now I'm bring the tool up, there we go, and we get the cut. Again, it's just a flaming cut. The only difference is, because the angle's already on the tool, I don't need to mess around trying to create an angle. It's already there. I don't have to worry about it. Right, now. I'll tell you what I'm pausing for now. I'm trying to decide if I should separate them now. Or not. Or do the shaping. Because this especially, this is going to be an egg shape for this one. So this point is going to be the top of the egg. That's going to be here. And I don't want this gap to get too weak and it break on me anyway. I think I can at least do some shaping. This is a 1/2 inch bowl gouge. Pretty much a standard grind on it that needs sharpening. So bear with me a second. Excuse me. So, can I show you this rind? Can I do this? Do it? There we go. It's roughly a standard grind. I don't think it's exact, but it's not far off. Doing the way I'm cutting now, like I said before, when I was just getting a cylinder, is I'm transferring my weight from one foot to the other. I'm doing exactly the same thing, but to try and get that curve, I'm also swinging my hips around as well, so I'm getting a turn on the tool as I'm going along. So I'm going along and turning at the same time to get a curve. And rather than trying to do the entire curve in one go, I'm just going to build it. I'm trying to do very fine cuts. As fine as I'm capable of doing with a 1/2 inch bowl gouge. And the reason I'm not going to 113A is because they have, I'm going to get one. The grind is different. It's much longer on the wings, and I don't want to, because I'm working in tight, I'm concerned about if I come round and I get a catch on the back, on the point of the wing here. I don't want to do that. So I'm going to use my 1/2 inch because it's got that shorter bevel. So the way I turn, I'm less likely to get a catch coming into confined spaces like that. Now we start working here and then meet them up. Go away from me a little bit there. Oh, I know what I can do. I'm going to deepen this retaining. Concentrate yourself a little bit more tight. But hopefully you can see what I'm trying to do. I've created a curve here, and I've put, because egg shapes are like that. So I've given myself a point here, and now I'm going to eat away until it joins. I might lift that a little bit more, actually. I might bring that up a little bit higher. But I also need to remember that this is a box. So it's going to have a section taken out of it. So I need a flat as well to be able to separate it off, which is going to be roughly here, I think. Yeah. Yeah, it's exactly the same cut though. I'm transferring weight from my one foot to the other, and I'm turning my hips at the same time. So what do we think, guys? Is that more or less egg shaped? When I separate it, obviously I can bring that more to a point. I've created the gap where I'm going to do the separation for the top and the bottom of the box. Yeah. So I'm going to put that in now. I'm not going to be fancy here, it's just going to be a plug lid. I might have to go a little deeper here. Yeah, I need to give enough space because obviously there's a curve here. This needs to be small enough that there will be some meat of the wall for the lid to meet the body. So I do think I'm going to need a little bit deeper. Oops, medium. So that's more or less the egg done. So I just need to bring it to a point over here, which I'll do when I separate and turn this around. I'm also going to use this ridge here, because I'll separate this off, these two halves, I'll separate those off. I'll use that to actually put in my jaws to actually do the point. So the next thing I'm going to need to do on here, on this one, is going to be parties off. This side, however, still needs shaping. This. So I'm going to use trying to think of the shape I want.
quarter minute go down. With a very slow back round.
I'm not sure about that yet. That feels too big. I might come back to that once everything's separated. But I think I've been going for about half an hour because my pain levels just shot up. So I'm afraid that is going to be it for the moment. But when you come back, I will separate this off camera, but you're not going to miss any of the actual turning of the pieces. So yeah, I'm going to go and have a cuppa. And then I shall come back and keep going, and I'll bring you guys back. So I'll see you in a minute. Hey guys, welcome back. Apologise for the movement in a second. I'm just trying to get the picture lined up properly. So I've sanded to, just give me a second, hang on. Sorry about that, I just wanted to make sure my footing was clear. So, what was I saying? Yes, I've sanded to 600. And I'm going to be going for a fire effect as close as I can get it on this egg. So the first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to start with honey and cover it all in honey as the base colour. So yeah, all I've done is sanded. There's nothing else on here yet. Well, I sanded and then I went with denatured alcohol just to clean the grain out. Now, I'm not worried if some patches are darker than others because it's a flame effect. So I'm hoping to get. So it doesn't really matter that much if some areas are a little darker than others because it's going to just lend to that effect, I hope. I have to say This is only the third time I've used colour. So for a real lesson in how to do this, go to the originator. So that'd be Martin Saban Smith, who is the owner of Hampshire Sheen and the inventor for Hampshire Sheen, I believe. I think he does all his own development. So that's the honey. Now, it doesn't matter, I don't think, if you need to wait for these to dry, because you're wanting a blend. It's not like you're wanting each colour to be defined. And so the next thing I'm going to put on is Plum. Down here, down at the base. And all I'm doing is dabbing. Again, it doesn't have to be uniform. I just want that darker base to be there. That's going to be the base of the fire, with the odd little bit scattered throughout. So that's the plum. What did I do with my lid? Oh, it's there. Good. Then it is Rubies next. Now, as most of you know, I'm colourblind. Fortunately, on this little, on the box, so I'm just come around, I can show you. On the box is a guide. Just a second, just get rid of that. Is a guide that shows the colours. Now I can't see the colours, so I'm actually going by the light or dark is the way I'm working it. So Plum's darker than Ruby, so that went on first. Now the Ruby's going on. And again, a little splash higher up. So where I've got this part here, I want it, because once it's together, I want it to meet. So that's that's my meeting point, for want of a better term. So that's the Ruby. Is it? Yeah, that was the Ruby. Made a boo-boo somewhere. It should be there. It should be there. It should be there. It should be there. Now we've got flame. Oops, I didn't shake that. So I got this kit, this little like introduction kit from the Tiny Turner, Emma Cook. If you want to purchase it. Obviously Martin also sells it on his Hampshire Sheen website too. Look, while I think, guys, because I don't think I've said this for a while, if anybody watching this is new, number one is, don't say what I'm doing is what a professional does. I am by no means a professional, not even close. But there is a good set of beginner guides on what to do, what to look for, how to use tools by Mike Walt. So it's, and the surname is W-A-L-D-T on YouTube. He did some a few years ago, but he's recently updated them. They're well worth watching, and in fact it's what I go back to fairly regularly to just refresh myself on techniques, basically. This one is burnt orange. I'm hoping this is a bit of a better angle as well than I've done before. Now, what I'm going to do, I'm going to go back to the honey. Give everything a coating in honey again. The purpose of doing this is because it's the lightest colour that's on here, everything else should come through it, and it's just to help blend in the colours. There we go. So that's the last of the colours. What I'm going to do now is, where did I put it? Cellulose sanding sealer. Now, when you put the sanding sealer on, it's going to pull some of the colour off. That is completely normal and to be expected. Oh, if I can get the sanding sealer open. Oh, that bugger's on tight. Come here. I think I might need to decant this and put it in something else. There we go, broke it. Just breaking that seal that the sanding seal has caused there. I think probably need to decant this. So yeah, so colour coming off onto the whatever it is that you're using to apply the sealer is absolutely normal. It's not something to worry about. Okay, so that's the sealer on. Wait for it to dry. Testing whether something's dry or not, always use the back of your fingers, not the front. You want the back of your fingers. So what I'm going to do now, I'm just going to denib that piece of 600. So which is the highest grit I use when I sanded. I sanded to 600, so I'm going to use 600 just to denib it. Very light. Done. Now it's down to what finish do you want to put on. You could go with oil, like finishing oil. The more coats of finishing oil you put on, the higher the gloss is going to be, but you're not going to really get a gloss until you put 8, 9, 10 coats on. If you want a matte finish, something like lemon oil, a couple of coats of lemon oil. Waxes, obviously, you can go for the waxes. I'm going to go for, I hope you can see that, melamine lacquer. The reason I'm going for melamine lacquer is actually because of a conversation we had on the Team Tiny meeting recently. There we go. And somebody said that although they'd use melamine lacquer on pens, not really use it on anything else. Now I've used melamine lacquer on all sorts of stuff, and like everything else, it's take your time with it. What you're going to be doing here is very much like you would do with Danish oil. A lot of thin coats, but you don't have to wait anywhere near as long as you do with Danish oil, because if you're doing multiple coats of Danish oil, realistically, the most coats you're going to do in a day is 3, because they need a good 4 hours in between, in my opinion. So if you're doing Danish oil and you want that high gloss finish, you're looking at anything from 3 days to a week. That's just to get your finish. That's never mind everything before that. Melamine will give you a high gloss finish faster because it dries almost straight away. Well, depending on what your temperature of the house is. And right now in here it's around about 18-19 degrees. So for me it's it's about where I ever want it to be. Again, this is going to pull colour off. Don't worry about it, it's absolutely fine if it does that. So that's the first coat. Now I'm just going to wait for that to dry. Just picked a little bit of wood dust up from somewhere. And it will not take long. So I'm also using, to pick the colour up, I'm going to just keep using this, unless it starts breaking up, in which case I'll get a new piece. Because it doesn't matter until the very last coat that you put on, then you're going to use a fresh piece. It's dry. Second coat, wait for that to dry. Dry. So you can see you can build up a lot of coats very quickly with melamine. Now the danger point that you have with melamine is if you put too many coats on without cutting it back, you can get like a ripple effect on the surface. Think kind of like orange peel. I need a new piece. Think kind of like orange peel, and you don't want that. Well, that's coat 3. Dry. So this coat 4. That dry. Sorry about showing you in this in real time, guys, but okay, now yeah, that's dry. So now I've just got a plain, sorry, no I don't. I'm back to the 600 again. I'm just going to denib that. Very light denibbing. That's even lighter than you would if you're denibbing the sanding sealer. Now I've got just plain piece of paper towel, that's just taking any dust off. Now, another coat of melamine. So the reason I denibbed is to help prevent that orange peel effect. And I would say 4 coats is the most you can do without risking it. Anything more than that and you're going to start risking getting that orange peel effect. I know some people say, well, Mark, the gentleman wood turner, he recommends, I mean this is for pens though, he recommends no more than 3 coats for pens. But say I do 4. Now because I'm getting ready for the final finish, I'm going to be using fresh one every time. I've got some beads just in the groove there, so I'm going to take those beads off so they don't go anywhere. I want a nice-ish thick coat on this time. More than a thin. You can see pretty much every time I'm taking colour off. But it's not detrimental. Right, like that one. Dry. I hope you can see the shine is starting to come now. Now that looks pretty much like it's going to look when it's finished. When it's had about another, I don't know, what was that? That was coat 7, I think. So in about another three to 5 coats, wondering what I'm doing. I've got melamine lotion on the bed weights, so I'm going to take that off. So I won't bore you anymore with doing this. I'll bring you back when this is done and I'm ready to, once I've parted it off actually, and I'm going to do the inside because I have a plan for the inside as well. So I'll bring you back when that happens. Hi guys. So I hope you can see. I finished putting the final coats on. You can see the shine. I hope you can. So now what I'm going to be doing is taking it off. I've put in there for where I'm going to be parting the piece off, and then I'm going to hollow this end. Hope you can see that okay. It's kind of hard for me to tell. So, what am I doing? Oh yes, I'm going to part this off here, take this off, clean that up, and then I'm going to prep for, I'm going to hollow this down, and then separate it all out.
Sorry guys, I'm just going to clean the area where the feet are going to be up first.
And what I'll do with this is, to sand this, I'll put some abranet down, some sanding paper down, and do it like that. To sand it down, I'll go down to probably 400, and then I'll put a finish on it, probably oil, lemon oil probably. Right, so smack yourself in the head, that's a good idea. You, there we go. This was just a bog standard scraper, and what I did, I put a radius on it, a bit of a radius, and that enables me to just introduce this. When it's a smaller piece like this, rather than using the bowl gouge, just use this. Well, we'll have to knock the speed down. Done. It should be that big, I hope. Yeah, just a touch big. There's a little bit of slop there, and that's what I want. I don't want it to be a tight fit, I want it to be easy for them to get it on and off. Sorry. I just tried blowing that out of the way with the face masking.
Sorry guys.
I don't know what happened there. I seem to have lost some of the recording. I'm assuming my phone's gone weird again. So just in case, I'm going to tell you what I'm going to do. I've sanded the inside to 400. I've just wiped it out with denatured alcohol, and I'm going to paint the inside with there we go, Joe Sonia red iridescent paint. I'm just waiting now for the denatured alcohol to dry inside, and I'm going to go get a paintbrush.
Got a paintbrush.
As soon as I put on a face mask, a face mask, I mean, I sweat like a bugger anyway, but Jesus. Now I'm not thinning this, I'm putting this on neat. And I'm not putting anything underneath it. Now, traditionally you put something underneath it, but I don't want it to be in your face, I want it to be subtle. I'm trying to paint with the grain. Well, I'm not doing a very good job of it so far. So I just want it to have, when it's open, a shine. On that iridescent glow. I don't want it to have a lot of strong colour. Where's the grain going? Can't see it. There we go. Now just let that dry. And if you want to see the end result, you're going to have to go onto my Instagram for when I post it on there. My Instagram is steveash37. And the final thing will be posted on there. Okay, right, thank you for watching, guys. I'm sorry about the issues I've had with the recording there, but I hope you enjoyed it. Again, I'm not professional. If you are interested, if you're new, you've not done this before, and you're interested in doing wood turning and learning more about it, I strongly recommend Mike Walt again, on YouTube. Mike Walt he's got so much experience, and he has some really good beginner guides for the various tools and things and what to do. It's spelled WALDT. I would also strongly recommend that you get professional lessons. There are people that do them all over the country. I would start naming names, but I'm not sure who's where, in all honesty. But if you're down south, west, I think Mark the Gentleman Woodturner does lessons. If you're more just south Hampshire area, there's Martin Saban Smith. The Scottish borders, there's Wayne the Woodturner. Leeds area, there's Emma Cook, the Tiny Turner. I think Mike Walt does lessons. There's a lot. There's a lot. But nothing beats professional lessons. And that's not forgetting the suppliers. Axminster Tools showrooms, they normally have a professional there that you can get lessons with. I know Turner's Retreat at Harworth does it as well. Taylor's Murfield, Dan does lessons. So I'm sure, but look around, find a place, get a professional lesson. Okay, that's it for the jabber. Okay, thank you. Bye, guys. Oh, if I can stop this, there we go.